Well, hello there, beautiful people. This weekend I wanted to start a reading vlog. Just to kind of recenter myself. I feel like this week's been kind of a weird week for me, and I'm definitely in a bit of a reading slump. As a side note, maybe because it's been a weird week, I'm not quite sure. So I wanted to spend this weekend really just picking up things I think that will be peaceful and comforting, stuff like that. So, or things that are maybe like 5-star predictions-ish, mostly just the peaceful and comforting, except for one of them. So I really want to read, I have all my Penguin Little Black classics sitting right here, and I really want to read, I think I have some Chekhov stories, yeah, which probably won't be peaceful and comforting, but I'm just curious. I feel like looking at really petite books is peaceful and comforting in itself, just like as an aesthetic, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, look how cute. I feel at peace. Oh, I'm healed. There you go. Never read any Chekhov stories, and I'm really interested in giving him a try. So I have this, obviously, which is called A Nervous Breakdown. It's number 111 in this Little Black Classics collection. I love these little books. And I believe there are 3 stories. I have hair in my mouth. I believe there are 3 different stories in this. So they're called A Nervous Breakdown, The Black Monk, and Anna Round the Neck. So 3 short stories in here. Maybe I'll read one, maybe I'll read all of them. I don't know. This is short, so it should be fine. Yeah, so I started, I'll grab the other ones I'm kind of thinking about picking at as well, but I started reading Martin Chuzzlewit this week because I kind of like following along with the Dickens vs. Tolstoy book club. Let's grab Martin Chuzzlewit. Where is it? Yes, so I started reading Martin Chuzzlewit this week. I didn't get too far into it, most like page 70, I think. Dickens is really hit or miss for me. I've really only liked, other than like Great Expectations and A Christmas Carol and like A Tale of Two Cities. And I really liked Nicholas Nickleby actually, but other than those, you know, it hasn't really been a vibe yet. So yeah, this wasn't really a vibe. I didn't really like Barnaby Rudge at all. Not a huge fan of Oliver Twist, but I just feel like life is too short. Life is too short. I'm very aware of how much time we have or don't have, because we don't really know how much time we have, so I don't want to waste it reading this. I just don't give a shit, you know what I mean? But I love collecting these editions, so it's never a waste to do that, am I right? What else did I start reading this week? I also read, which I think put me in a little bit of a reading slump. I read My Policeman by Bethan Roberts. Where is it? Oh my gosh, I don't know where it is. I think it's right here actually. My Policeman by Bethan Roberts. And listen, it just like definitely wasn't for me. I was super bored the whole time, and I probably should have DNF'd this. I just don't think that there was anything special about this, and I feel really bad saying that. I was really excited to read this because last week a little bit ago, I read Harry Styles' favorite books, or some of his favorite books, and then I got kind of excited because he's in the new movie coming out of My Policeman, and I was like excited about it because a lot of people I follow online have read this and rated it like 5 stars, or at least 4.5 stars. I know this is like vaguely based on E.M. Forster's life, so I kind of started reading Maurice as well when I finished this, but again, I think this put me in a reading slump. I just thought it was super, super boring. There was nothing for me to feel attached to. It made me feel dead inside, and I don't, yeah, as an experience, it wasn't my favorite, so I don't really care about that, and there it is. But yeah, I just, again, like I said, I just feel like I need a little bit of comfort and peace and grounding in my life. Like this morning I did a little bit of yoga, I did a chakra balancing guided meditation, and it's nice, you know, it's helpful, it feels peaceful. But I started reading this, Upstream by Mary Oliver. I have been introduced this year, like I've met Mary Oliver this year. I met her words and her thoughts and her spirit through her words this year. I feel like she's a kindred spirit. I feel like she really speaks to me, and she makes me feel really good. She makes me feel connected to the wider world in a very peaceful way, in the way that like there are no lies. It's not like a glazed facade of beauty. It's just very honest. Do you get what I'm saying? She just feels very comforting to me. So I'm gonna keep reading Upstream, which are her selected essays. I've only made it like 8 pages into it last night. So this is what I'm interested in. Maybe I'll pick up some Chekhov stories this weekend. And I've really been wanting to read this, A Prayer for the Crown Shy by Becky Chambers, the Monk and Robot series, which is a little science fiction novella. I read the first book in this. I think it's going to be a series, A Psalm for the Wild Built. That is the kind of energy that I'm trying to attain, you know, this weekend. It just made me feel so peaceful and comforted. It's just peaceful, you know, just we are as human beings deserving of rest and a gentle life, and that's just what I want in my life and in my literature. So these will be my weekend reads, I think. I don't know, I'll let you know if I start reading anything else or if I continue reading Maurice by Forster. I didn't dislike it. I just think I was in a reading slump, so trying to find something to revive me, I guess. So yeah. Good morning. I just woke up feeling pretty good. I have finished A Prayer for the Crown Shy by Becky Chambers, which is the sequel to A Psalm for the Wild Built, obviously by Becky Chambers as well. And if you don't know what this first one is about, I don't know if I already mentioned like a vague plot, but basically we follow this tea monk. They're in this world where the humans basically live in like a utopia. The city is where all these humans are, and then they're the wilds where all these robots supposedly live, and the humans haven't seen any of the robots in like a long ass time. Our main character, the tea monk, is like stressed out by life, you know, and frolics off to the forest. They run into a robot and they become friends, and they talk about the meaning of life and how to live life, and it's just like a beautiful living in the forest, making tea out of a little tea van, cooking foods out of the wild mushrooms that grow. I think it's just delightful. It's just super delightful, and I really recommend this if you want something delightful. Okay, this was the sequel. I was really excited for it because, like I was just saying, I really loved the first one. Now, I did still really like this. I just didn't love it. Like, maybe I'm just in a different place in my life and a different person, and I'm a completely different reader at this. Well, not completely, but you know what I mean. We grow, we evolve, we change, and this just didn't hit as hard, I guess. But basically in this one, we follow the monk and the robot, and they go back to the human world. So they go into the city because the robot kind of wants to study humanity, and the question that the robot has is, what do humans need to live? It's about them meeting a bunch of different people, going a bunch of different places, and thinking about life. Delightful, yes. A really easy read. It just didn't quite do too much for me this time, but there you go. What am I doing now? I started reading A Nervous Breakdown by Anton Chekhov. Let me grab it. I started reading A Nervous Breakdown. I'm on page 27 of this little book, so I'm reading. Oh my gosh, it's the air conditioning. I'm reading the story called A Nervous Breakdown, and I like it so far. It's very realist. I haven't read any Chekhov before, so it's my first time experiencing him. And what am I doing right now? I just kind of want to relax, because that's the theme. And I am super upset because I tried to make coffee, and I fucked up. You know how often I make coffee? Quite often. and I messed the frick up, and I'm super upset. I'm sitting here trying not to cry. I'm crying internally. No, I'm fine. That's a big fat bummer. You know when you sit down and you're just like, wow, I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna watch a documentary on the history of Russia, because that's what I'm doing. Do you want to see? You just want to sit down and watch a documentary on the history of Russia, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is gonna be amazing. I'm sitting in my pajamas. I'm gonna have coffee and learn about Russia. And you fuck up the coffee. I'll survive. At first I was afraid. I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without the coffee by my side, you know? So anyways, that's what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, I just realized that's totally appropriate because this is Russian. Oh my gosh. Look at me go. Okay. My goodness, so here we are again, trapped in the amber of this moment. Just took off my socks. Okay, so it is the end of the weekend. I'm drinking a coffee. Well, I haven't started drinking it yet because I just haven't. Okay, but I have a coffee. Oh my gosh, there's too much ice. Okay, some cookies because joy, you know. All right, what did I finish reading? So I did finish reading Upstream by Mary Oliver. I freaking loved this. I loved this so much. I highlighted a bunch of things in here, which I'll randomly pick one out. Let's see. So Mary Oliver is a poet who was writing in the 20th century. When did she pass away? Let's look this up. Hey Siri, when did Mary Oliver pass away?
Mary Oliver died January 17th, 2019 at age 83.
So she was 83 in 2019. Oh my gosh, I thought she was older than that. And a lot of people love Mary Oliver, and I hadn't yet experienced Mary Oliver. And this month was the month of Mary Oliver. Okay, that's all I have to say. I read Dreamwork and Upstream, which are essays. So she's writing a lot about nature and her connections with nature, as a lot of her poetry is about. She's writing about writers who kind of live inside her soul and who have been her teachers in life and are her continual teachers of life. So she writes about Walt Whitman, she writes about Edgar Allan Poe, she wrote about Ralph Waldo Emerson, which made me buy this. So haul, okay, I bought this because of this. And it was just such a beautiful experience reading this book, and this was exactly the feeling that I wanted to take out of this weekend, okay? This was exactly the feeling that I wanted. I haven't read Walt Whitman yet, but this made me really want to pick up his work. I have a collection of his works on my shelf. Again, like I said, she was writing about Poe. What else did I highlight? Knowledge has entertained me, and it has shaped me, and it has failed me. Something in me still starves. In what is probably the most serious inquiry of my life, I have begun to look past reason, past the provable in other directions. Now I think there is only one subject worth my attention, and that is the precognition of the spiritual side of the world, and within this recognition, the condition of my own spiritual state. I am not talking about having faith necessarily, although one hopes to. What I mean by spirituality is not theology, but attitude. Such interest nourishes me beyond the finest compendium of facts. In my mind now, in any comparison of demonstrated truths and unproven but vivid intuitions, the truths lose. I loved this. I loved that so much. And since we're talking about Mary Oliver, I didn't read this weekend, but I loved this. And Wild Goose was probably, I don't want to say it was my favorite of this collection in Dreamwork, but it was tied for first with, okay, so Wild Goose and Dogfish were my favorite. Dogfish is the first poem in this, and I'm not going to read it because it's a few pages. I mean, Dogfish. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna read a little bit of it. Okay, I'm not gonna read Wild Geese, okay? Dogfish. Some kind of relaxed and beautiful thing kept flickering in with the tide and looking around, black as a fisherman's boot, with a white belly. If you asked for a picture, I would have to draw a smile under the perfectly round eyes and above the chin, which was rough as 1,000 sharpened nails. And you know what a smile means, don't you? I wanted the past to go away. I wanted to leave it like another country. I wanted my life to close and open like a hinge, like a wing, like the part of the song where it falls down over the rocks, an explosion, a discovery. I wanted to hurry into the work of my life. I wanted to know whoever I was alive for a little while. It was evening and no longer summer. 3 small fish, I don't know what they were, huddled in the highest ripples as it came swimming in again, effortless, the whole body, one gesture, one black sleeve that could fit easily around the bodies of 3 small fish. Also, I wanted to be able to love, and we all know how that one goes, don't we? Slowly. The dogfish tore open the soft basins of water. You don't want to hear the story of my life, and anyway, I don't want to tell it. I want to listen to the enormous waterfalls of the sun, and anyway, it's the same old story, a few people just trying, one way or another, to survive. Mostly, I want to be kind, and nobody, of course, is kind or mean for a simple reason, and nobody gets out of it, having to swim through the fires to stay in this world. And look. I think those little fish better wake up and dash themselves away from the hopeless future that is bulging towards them. And probably, if they don't waste time looking for an easier world, they can do it. This was fantastic. I have American Primitive by Mary Oliver, actually. So I will be flicking through that as well. But what else do I have to say? I think that's all. I think that's all I have to say. Yeah. I hope you had a peaceful weekend, and if you feel like you need to take time for yourself to do the things you love, or you feel kind of overstimulated by life and the world, you do take that time for yourself, because it's very important to recenter ourselves within ourselves, okay? Because the world happens so quickly and all the time around us, and the noise of it often impedes the voice in our own heads. And that's not cool. That's difficult. Anyway, so I'm gonna eat my cookie. It's cookies, plural. Yes. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful... Oh my gosh, I didn't show you. Did I show you? I got a tattoo. It says, "You pierce my soul." You pierce my soul. Does anyone know what book that's from? I bet you do. I bet you do. Persuasion. Oh my gosh. What an epic letter there at the end. We all know it. Okay, thanks for watching. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your life. Bye.